Like much of southern Louisiana, he grew up in poverty in South Baton Rouge, known to his natives as the Bottom. Surrounded by drugs, crime, and mediocrity, Ken chose another path. He remained disciplined in his studies throughout his tenure in school, and later became a graduate of McKinley High School. Much of who he is rooted in his upbringing and experiences in South Baton Rouge. But after leaving the Bottom, he would leave and never look back and search for a better life.
You know, I remember growing up, hearing all these different stories about growing up in the Bottom. You know, I didn't really understand what it meant. I just knew that there were a lot of funny stories, and you know, it was nothing sounded like the way of life that I was used to. And as I started growing up, I realized, you know, that was the hood. You know, it still is the hood. You know, that's not an ideal place to grow up and raise a family. So it really changes this perspective, and it makes me appreciate more the man that he is today.
But remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand.
But that was just the beginning for a man with holes in his sweaters and hope in his pockets. He attended none other than the Southern University, where he would begin to find himself. But that wasn't all he found.
I met Kenneth on Southern University's campus, and I remember when I first met him, I thought, why is this man staring at me?
Ken found the love of his life, Glenda White. Born and raised in the Fairfield of Tallulah, Louisiana, Ken and Glenda had very different backgrounds and upbringings. Still, their paths intertwined. Both majors in microbiology, they took every single class together. The beginning was a little slow and somewhat shaky, but their story unfolded beautifully.
We had all of our classes together, so we would see each other every day, all day. And the more I was around him, the more I realized that he was a pretty good guy. So after a while, we started dating, and it was really funny because he didn't have a job, I didn't have a job, so we didn't have any money. And he would save his lunch money from the whole week so that he could take me on a date on the weekend, on Saturday, and buy me Baskin Robbins. And I thought that was really sweet and really cute.
Just like every classic tale, they hit a few bumps in the road and eventually called it quits. After some time, Ken and Glenda reunited at a mutual friend's funeral. It was during this time that they realized the spark was never gone, and they were better together than apart.
After dating Kenneth for a while, I realized that I needed to pray and get some direction from God and ask him if this was the guy that I should spend the rest of my life with. And that's what I did, and he said yes. So here we are, 34 years later. Some people would call it luck, but we call it God's plan.
Following the call of God on his life, Ken then attended Bible school to study theology. Affectionately known as Pastor Ken, he has spent many years in ministry. He hopes to pastor his own church in the near future, but in the meantime, his pulpit is his living room and everywhere else he goes. Ken's first ministry is to his family. He is the proud father of 3, ages 29, 24, and 21. He is also the grandfather of 3, ages 6, 2, and 5.
Let's see. So when I think about the man, the myth, and the legend. Is my lighting okay? Okay. The man, the myth, and the legend. Kenneth E. White. Or Pastor Ken, as some know. No, I think a genuine person. One that likes to have fun but don't play no games. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. I think about how cool it was when I was in school and he would be working and I might see him while I'm walking in line with my class or whatever. I'd be so excited and happy. And not only would he have to high five me, but he had to high five everybody else in my class too. And that was kind of interesting because, you know, that wasn't always the same response to other kids when their parents would show up. He just has that really likable, lovable nature about him, and you know it means business at the same time. And that's something that somebody want to exude as well. So yeah.
So, growing up, people would always tell me how much of a daddy's girl I was. And I can honestly say that to this day, at age 24, nothing has changed. I am 110% a daddy's girl. Anybody who knows me knows that my father is like my person. He's a very interesting person. I've always been intrigued at how genuine he is. He is not one to cut corners. He's very blunt. He's a straight shooter. He lets you know how he feels, what he thinks, and he calls it a day. And I can really appreciate and admire his honesty, even when it's hard and even when it's uncomfortable. Another thing I really like about him is that he is an amazing storyteller. And I have a love for stories myself, and I do believe that I got it from him. He loves to tell stories. He has stories for days. Like the most interesting, the most crazy, the most scary, the most unbelievable things always happen to him. He's a one-of-a-kind person, and I think God knew I needed a dad like that. I mean, he is truly a genuine person. I think he is a dichotomy in a lot of ways because not only is he serious, but he's very fun and playful. You know, he has a lot of different sides to him. He's a multifaceted person, and I think that he has just always instilled in us things that will carry us through the rest of our lives. So I appreciate that, and I love him, obviously.
Show me how you love. Show me how you love. Heaven up above, show me how you love. Been down so long, can you put me up? Never had it all, but I had enough. Cause even when I fall, I still feel your touch. Take a step outside and feel you inside me. I see the pink skies, they all around me. All I want to do is just drop to my knees. So I praise to the King. Yeah, I couldn't find a way until you made it. They tried to take your life, but then you gave it. That's how far you came, just to give me all your heart. Heaven up above, show me how you love. Want me like the sun, sun in the morning time. Heaven up above, show me how you love. Want me like the sun, sun in the morning time.
Mm-hmm.